Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Miss Erica's Crazy Costume Catastrophe. This week Miss Erica is dressed as Captain America. I even have a shield! This week we're looking at another story from the life of Jesus. So first we're going to check out our big Bible timeline. Jesus is still in the same period where he is doing 3 years of ministry. He's teaching people, he's healing people, he's gathering people who are following him and making him their king. And so today we're learning about Jesus going to Jerusalem and something that he does there. Jerusalem was the capital, and when he gets there, he goes to the Pool of Bethesda. Now, I don't mean pool like a swimming pool where you have floaties and sunscreen. It's not that kind of pool. It was probably a place where they would collect a lot of rainwater, like a public cistern. But nearby, there were also some caves that had water. And we know that lots of people thought this place was like really magical and special. They would worship fake gods there. Actually, they worshiped a fake Greek god that they thought was the god of healing. And that's where they would worship him. And so there's this pool of water, and everybody thought back then that if the water bubbled up or like swirled, that the first person to touch the water, if that happened, would be healed. So a lot of sick people, people that had diseases, people that couldn't walk or maybe were blind, a lot of those people would just hang out there all the time, waiting for this like fake magic healing to happen. Jesus meets a man there who hasn't been able to walk for 38 years. And he is waiting and waiting and waiting to get healed. But the problem is that his legs don't work. So anytime, even if the water was to bubble up, somebody else would just jump in front of him. When you can't walk, you're not very fast. So this man had just been waiting and waiting and waiting. And then he meets Jesus. From John 5, verse 5. One man was there who couldn't walk for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been there a long time, Jesus said to him, "Do you want to be healed?" Isn't that a weird question? We'll talk about that in a minute. The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me in the pool. When the water's stirred up, while I'm going, another person jumps in front of me." Jesus said to him, "Rise up, take your mat, and walk." And at once the man was healed, and he took up his mat and walked. So first I want to talk about when Jesus says, "Do you want to be healed?" I think at first that sounds kind of weird, like Jesus might be making fun of him or not being kind. But the more I think about it, the more I think that Jesus realizes that a lot of people there aren't waiting for true healing, which can only come from Jesus. They're waiting for some kind of fake healing. Remember I told you how a lot of people even worshiped a fake god that they thought was the God of healing. We know the God of healing. His name is Jesus. And Jesus wants this man to realize that what he's been waiting for a long time isn't real and it isn't going to heal him. Jesus knows the only one who can heal him is Jesus. And he can't just heal his legs. Jesus can heal all of him and give him new life. When Jesus says, "Rise up, take your mat and walk," that "rise up," it's the same phrase used later to talk about Jesus rising up from the dead. Jesus could have just said, maybe you should get up or something. But Jesus wants this man to realize that when you experience the healing that Jesus brings, it's not just healing for your legs or your pinky toe. It's healing for all of you. It's healing for your heart. And Jesus knows that he brings that healing. We can wait for stuff too, sometimes for a long time. Sometimes we want something about our life to change. Sometimes we want something to get better. And sometimes we look in the wrong places for those things. Maybe we're looking for love or joy or acceptance or healing or peace or to not feel afraid. Maybe we're just looking to feel like we have a good life. And sometimes we can look to a lot of crazy things to bring those things. We can look to Netflix or Disney Plus or Friends or even food or playing soccer. Things that aren't bad, but if we're looking to those things for life, we're not going to find it. Only Jesus has true life. Only He can tell us to rise up, to have new life in Him. And I think Jesus is asking a lot of us this week, do you want new life? Sometimes when we make Jesus our king, we tell Him, yeah, I want to make you my king. I want new life. But I think Jesus wants us to really think about that. Do you really want new life? Or do you just want to sit on the couch and eat chips? Jesus has great big things for us. He wants us to rise up and be new people when we follow Him. He doesn't just want to heal our pinky toes. He wants to heal all of us. He wants to heal our hearts. He wants to make us new. And He wants to bring true healing and joy and peace and new life to every part of us. So the first thing I want you to do this week is to just tell Jesus what you want. Be really honest with Him. Did you know you can be super duper hooper scooper honest with Jesus? You can tell Him everything, even those mean little thoughts in your head or those things that you think about that you don't tell anybody else. You can tell Jesus. Tell Him what you're waiting for. Tell Him what you're mad about. Tell Him what you want to see change. But also take some time to listen to Jesus. I love this story because it mentions how Jesus knew this whole guy's story, but He also listened when the guy told him all of what was happening to him. So we know that we can tell Jesus anything and that He'll listen, but I also want to challenge us to be boys and girls that listen when Jesus speaks to us. Listen to how Jesus wants to bring new life to whatever you're going through right now. All right, guys, it's been so fun hanging out with you. I love getting to hang out with you on this show, and I cannot wait till I can see you again in person. Virtual high five, everybody. Boom. Also, I am going to film a bonus. That's right, bonus. Miss Erica's Crazy Costumed Catastrophe. It's going to drop on Friday. Look out for that. I'm going to read you a new book that I just got, and it's super sweet and cute. So look out for that Friday. It'll probably drop around 6 p.m. so you can watch it before you go to bed with your mom and dad. All right, guys. See you soon. Bye.
Is it, Laura? Do it with a smaller animal? No, it's made for a big bear. Okay.
William is building a zip line for stuffed animals. Shout out to my awesome camera woman, Clara.